All right, folks, am I audible? Good evening. Thank you so much for joining. Am I audible? Please let me know. I hope I'm audible over here, right? So today we wanted to do question number 61 to 80, right? Okay, we have already done question number 1 to 60 in the previous videos, right? So that you can go and check it by yourself, right? Okay. So question number 61, it's a statement type question, right? A question is given followed by two statements 1 and 2. Consider the question and the statements and mark the correct options. Okay, right? You have to consider the question and then the statement and then mark the correct option, right? Okay, so what is the integral value of k for which the expression 4x square minus kx plus 1 is positive, right? Okay, right? So what is the integral value of k is what they are asking, right? Then what k is less than 2, k is greater than minus 4, right? K is less than minus 2, k is greater than minus 4. Which one of the following is correct in respect of the above question and statement? Now this is also important for you to read the statement, okay? The question can be answered by using one of the statement alone but cannot be answered using the other statement alone. Option B is that the question can be answered by using either of the statement alone. That means any one of these statement, right? C option says the question can be answered by using both the statements together but cannot be answered using either the statement alone, right? Okay, the question cannot be answered even by using both the statements together, right? Okay, so it is always very important for you to read each of the options again and again, and we will see how and why it is very critical for you to read the options, right, in the statement type question, right? So now they are saying question is that what is the integral value of k, right? Okay, so they are asking basically what is the value of k for which the expression 4x square minus kx plus 1, right? So the expression over here is given as 4x square minus kx plus 1, right? Okay, can I simply assume, right? Okay, they are asking this expression, this particular value has to be positive. Okay, so if it has to be positive, we can take any value of x, right? So if I assume over here x is equal to 5, right? If I assume x is equal to 5, right? Okay, so which means 4 into 5 square is 25 minus 25k plus 1. Okay, this particular value has to be positive. Basically it is 101 minus 25k. You want to take any other value, you can take any other value as well. It's not compulsory that you take x is equal to 5 only, right? It's your choice, right? Now can we still say that this particular value is positive or negative? Okay, this particular value is positive or negative. Statement 1 says k is less than minus 2, right? Okay, so if I say k is less than minus 2, can I take minus 3, right? If I put minus 3 over here, this is 101 minus of minus plus 75, right? This is absolutely a positive value. Okay, now over here they are saying k is greater than minus 4, right? Okay, if k is greater than minus 4, can I assume simply k value is equal to 10? If I assume k value is equal to 10, this is 101 minus 25 into 10, right? Which means it is a negative value, right? Okay, isn't it? So it is asking what is the integral value of k for which the expression this is positive. Okay, right? Now if I use both the given options over here, both the given statement over here, k is less than minus 2 and k is greater than minus 4, right? Okay, so in that case what is the value of k? The value of k is minus 3, right? If you put value of k is equal to minus 3 in this particular expression over here, how much do we get? Okay, right? This much we get 101 minus plus, right? 176. Positive is what we are getting, right? Okay. So in order to get this positive, what we were supposed to do, we had to use both of these statement over here, right? So obviously you have to read it. The question can be answered by using one of the statement alone. No. The question can be answered by using either statement alone, right? The question can be answered by using both the statements together, right? But cannot be answered using either statement alone, right? Okay, because if you take k is equal to minus 3, it is becoming positive. If I take k is equal to 10, which is about the statement 2, right? So you cannot answer, right? Okay, the question cannot be answered even by using both the statements together, right? Okay, this is not the case. By using both the statements together, we get a perfect value of k, right? K is equal to minus 3 is what do we get, and now if we put that in the given equation, this particular equation, right? So we get a positive value, right? Okay, so that is why we go ahead with C as an answer to this particular question, right? Now let's look at question number 62, right? A question is given followed by statement 1 and 2. Consider the question and the statement and mark the correct option, right? The question is, in how many days can A, B, C, right, together finish the work, right? Okay, this is the question. In how many days A, B, C can finish the work? Statement 1 is A and B together can finish the work in 24 days. B and C together can finish the work in 36 days, right? Okay, now let's read. Okay, let's read. The question cannot be answered, right? Why am I telling you to read this carefully? In this particular option they have given in D, this question cannot be answered, right? Okay, now if you look at the next question over here, they are saying the question can be answered, right? This is the exact reason why you should read the options carefully. Okay, read options carefully, right, which is very, very important, right? Okay, so now just going on to this particular question, right? A and B together can finish the work in 24 days, right? Okay, A, B, C, and B and C together, if they are able to finish off in 36 days. So can I assume the total number of work over here is 72 units, right? Isn't it? So which means A plus B together they are doing 3 units. Either A will be doing 1 unit or B will be doing 2 units, right? This is the first case. Or the other case is that A will be doing 2 unit or B will be doing 1 unit over here, right? Okay, right? Now over here it is saying B and C together can finish the work in 36 days, right? 36 days means B and C taken together, right? B and C taken together, they are doing how many? 2 units of work, right? If B has already done 2 units of work, C will do how much? 0, right? If B has done 1 unit of work, C will do how much? 1 unit of work, right? Isn't it? Okay, so in that case, what is happening over here? Now over here what is happening, right? A and B together can finish the work. This is the first case wherein A, B and C are doing it in, right, doing 1 work, 2 work or 0 work every single day, right? In this case, in the case of B, right, in the case of B, right, A, B and C are doing 2 unit, 1 unit and 1 unit of work per day, right? Okay, 72 works has to be done, right? In that case only 3 unit of work per day is happening. In that case 4 unit of work per day is happening, right? Okay, this case will give you how much, right? 24 days for the work to get completed, right? Okay, and in this case 18 days for the work to get completed, right? Okay, so it is not clear for us, it is not clear that which of these two options hold correct, okay, whether C does the work or not, okay, right? So the correct answer to this question is, the question cannot be answered even by using both the statements together, right? Okay, now you will think, sir, we have got an answer, right? Okay, if case 1 is the thing, 24 is the answer. If case 2 is the thing, 18 days is the answer, right? You can't assume whether C does the work or not, okay, right? Okay, we can't arbitrarily tell that, okay, fine, I will take this particular case, okay, I will not take this particular case, right? This would be an arbitrary decision, right? That decision you cannot take, right? So still we are getting 2 different days, which means we are not able to answer how many days A, B and C together will take if they have to finish off the work, right? So that is why we go ahead with D as an answer to this particular question, folks. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. A question is given followed by statement 1 and 2. Consider the question and statement and mark the correct option. This question, can we have a common solution which is prime? Okay. Can we have a common solution which is prime is what they are asking, right? Okay. The first statement over here is your x square minus 26x plus 133 is equal to 0. Right, okay. So obviously now if you do splitting the middle term, right, okay, so this is how much? 7x minus 19x minus 133 is equal to 0, right? X into x minus 7 minus 19 into x minus 7, right? Basically x is equal to either 7 or how much? 19, right? 7 or 19. For this particular one, x is equal to either 7 or 19, right? Okay. Now in this particular one, you can easily guess the value of x is equal to 19 and 25, right? You solve for it. Right? X square minus 19x minus 25x plus 475 is equal to 0. So x into x minus 19 minus 25 into x minus 19. Over here x is equal to 19 or 25, right? Okay. So this is what we have. Can we have a common solution which is prime? Okay. Do we have a common solution which is prime number, right? Okay. It's a common solution and also a prime number. How did we get this answer, right? We had to use both the equation over here, both the statement over here, right? So the question can be answered by using both the statements together, but cannot be answered by using either of this statement alone, right? So that is why we go ahead with 63C over here as the correct answer to this particular question, folks. Are you guys understanding this? Are you folks understanding this particular question, folks? Tell me, right? Okay. I hope you guys are understanding, right? Okay. If you have any doubts, any queries, any question, please do let me know, right? Okay. Now this particular question is a question, right? Okay. Right? A question is given followed by statement 1 and 2, right? Okay. This is the question that they have given, and they have given the statement 1 and as well as statement 2 over here, right? Consider the question and the statement and mark the correct option, right? Okay. 327 raised to the power n plus 173 raised to the power n is divisible by 500. Okay, right? Is it 500, right? Okay. So now if the value of n is odd, right? If n is odd natural number, okay. So if I am saying n is equal to 1, in that case, what happened? 327 plus 173, which is giving you 500 only, and this number 500 is divisible by 500, right? Okay. So it is for all the cases, right? Whenever this power is odd, right? N is equal to odd, this sum, right? Sum is divisible, right? Okay. Sum of the bases is divisible by the given number over here, right? Okay. So statement 1 over here is correct, right? Statement 1 over here is correct. You are able to answer, right, by using the statement 1, right? They're saying the question can be answered even without using any of this statement, okay, right? This is damn sure cannot be the right answer, right? The question can be answered by using one of the statements alone, but cannot be answered using the other statement alone, right? The question can be answered by using either the statement alone, right? The question can be answered by using both the statements together, but cannot be answered using the either statement alone, right? But cannot be answered using either the statement alone, right? Okay. This is also wrong one. Why? Because by using statement 1 alone, we were able to reach the answer, isn't it? We were able to reach the answer, right? Okay. Now over here it is saying n is a positive integer, right? So n could be 1, n could be 2, n could be 3, n could be 4, n could be 5, right? Okay. If n is an odd natural number, right? If n is an odd natural number, this is the case statement 1, and this black case, the one that I have rounded up, it will mean the same, isn't it? Both of it will mean exactly the same, right? Okay, but what actually happens, right? But what actually happens, if you have to just check for it, right? 327 whole square plus 173 whole square, right? Okay, this particular number, right, this particular number over here is how much? Okay, 7 square is 49, unit digit is 9, plus, okay, 3 square is 9, unit digit is 9, okay, unit digit is 8, okay. Do you think this number with unit digit ending with 8 is divisible by 500? No, absolutely no, right? So what does it mean? It means that statement 2 is not giving you an answer in a clear cut manner. Okay, right? So what is the answer over here? The question can be answered by using either. Either means both. Statement alone. No, you cannot use statement 2 to answer this question, right? You have to use, the question can be answered by using one of the statements alone, but cannot be answered using the other statement alone, right? Okay, A is going to be the correct answer for question number 64, folks, right? Right? How about this particular question, question number 65? What do you guys think? Read that, read that. Why did I tell you to read it carefully? You see in option number D over here, they are saying can, and if you look at the previous question, the D option is having cannot. Okay, so it is always very, very important for you to read the questions very, very carefully, folks, right? Okay, right? Now question number 65 says a question is given followed by two statements, right? Okay, consider the statement, right? If the price of the petrol goes up by 20%, right? Okay, by what percent should the consumption be reduced so that the expenditure remains the same, right? Okay, right? So earlier the price of the petrol was, let's say, 100 rupees. Okay, earlier the price of the petrol was 100 rupees, and now it has increased by 20%, and now this is 120 rupees, right? If the price of the petrol has gone up by 20%, right? Okay, so earlier you used to get only 1 liter out of 100, right? So for 120 rupees, how much will you get? For 100 rupees, right? Now it is, right, for 120 liters you are getting 1 liter, right? Okay, so you will be getting how much? 100 divided by 120, this much of liter you will be taking, isn't it? Okay, basically, you know, this was the case beforehand, right? And this is the case afterhand, right? Okay, before this was the case, after this is the case. So you can easily calculate, right, that how much of reduction you have to do, right? Is it really dependent upon the price of the petrol? Is it really dependent upon the price of the petrol? No, it's not dependent upon the price of the petrol, or also it is not dependent upon the consumption as well, right? Whether you were consuming 24 liters or 4 liters or 2400 liters, it does not matter, right? Okay, you know how much, right? By what percent, the question is asking, by what percent should the consumption be reduced? Okay, right? By what percent your consumption be reduced? So in that case, you know, there is an easy option, right? Increase in price is 20, right? Okay, initial cost was, let's say, 80, right, into 100, right? Okay, so 25% of reduction is what you are required. It is not dependent on statement, either of the statement 1 and 2. That is why we will go ahead with option D, which says the question can be answered even without using any of the statements. Option D over here is going to be the correct answer, folks, right? In that case, right? You don't have to worry about what is the cost of the petrol, and you don't have to worry about how much was the price of the petrol as well. Okay, right? Question is given, right, followed by two statements, right? Question number 66 over here. Consider the question and the statement and mark the correct option. Question: the ratio of P salary to the Q salary, right? The ratio of the P salary as to the Q salary is, right, the ratio of the salary of P and Q is 6 is to 5. How much is P's expenditure, right? I'm saying, right, I'm saying salary can be denoted in X. Okay, I'm denoting that in X, right? Okay. Now savings I'm saying, right? Savings I'm saying it is denoted in the terms of Y. Okay. So P's salary is 6x, right? Q's salary is 5x minus of how much? Okay, this is the saving. P's saving is 3y, right? Q's saving is 2y, right? This is the ratio of the P's saving to the Q saving is 3 is to 2. The ratio of the P's expenditure to the Q's expenditure is 1 is to 1, right? This is basically 1 is to 1, right? So 6x minus 3y is equal to 5x minus 2y is what you have, right? Basically, if you solve for it, you get x is equal to y. Okay, right? I get x is equal to y. What can we find out about that? Okay, now they are asking how much is the P's expenditure. Can we find out anything out of this x is equal to y? Can you find out anything? If we just know x is equal to y, then what? Okay, can we find out? No, we cannot find out. We cannot really find out how much is the expenditure of P, right? P expenditure is how much? We cannot really find out over here, right? Okay, so it is saying the question can be answered, right, by using one statement alone, right? Can be answered, right? Can be answered. No, this question cannot be answered even by using the both the statements together. Okay, had they given that Q is saving this much, P is saving this much, then possibly we could have answered that. Okay, right? Okay, so we don't have any other option but to go ahead with D. This question cannot be answered even by using both the statements together over here, right? Okay, now for question number 67, we'll move to question number 67. A question is given followed by two statements 1 and 2, right? Okay, a question is given followed by two statements 1 and 2. Consider the question and the statement and mark the correct option, right? The largest of the 5 different integers are 2, right, and 8, right? There are 3 more integers over here, right? What is the average of the integers is what they are asking. Okay, right? The sum of all the 5 integers is a multiple of 5, right? The number of odd integers is odd. Okay, one thing is certain that these 3 numbers are in between 3 and 7, isn't it? 3 and 7. So it could be what, how much? 3, 4, 5, right? Is the sum over here, the sum of all, is it a multiple of 5? 8 plus 2 is 10 plus 15 plus 4, 19 plus 3. No. Okay, so these are not the numbers over here, right? What other numbers can you take? Okay, can I take 4, 5, 6? Can I take 4, 5, 6 in that case, right? Then over here they are saying the number of odd integers are odd. Okay, odd integers are odd. Okay, this is one case. This is one of your odd integers over here, right? Okay, number of odd integers are odd. Okay, right? So 1 is the integer, 1 is the odd integer, right? Okay, the sum of all the 5 integers is a multiple of 5. 8 plus 2, 10, right? 10 plus 10, 20 plus 5, 25. That is correct. Okay, that is correct. But now hold on. Okay, right? Now hold on. Okay, now it is saying 2 and 8. These are the smallest and the biggest one. Okay, these are the smallest and the biggest one. Can I simply write 5 over here? Can I simply take these two numbers as 5 and 7? Okay, can I simply take these two numbers 5 and 7? In that case also, what is the number of odd digits? Okay, the number of odd digits are 3, right? So this odd over here is 3. The number of odd integers are 3, right? the sum of all the integers are multiple of 5. Okay, 8 plus 2 is 10, 10, 20 plus 5, 25, right? Okay, they are how much? 25. The largest of 5 different integers is 8 and the least is 2. What is the average of the 2 integers over here, right? So in that case, divided by 5 is 5. In that case also divided by 5 is 5. Okay, so what did we get to understand? That this question can be answered, cannot be answered is not the case, right? Okay, but how are you able to answer? We are required to use both the options over here in order to answer this particular question, folks, right? Unless we use both the equation over here, we are not able to answer this question, right? Isn't it? Okay, so which means over here for question number 67 we will go ahead with C as the correct answer, folks. All right, let's move on to question number 68. Okay, a number is given followed by two statements 1 and 2, right? Number is given followed by two statements 1 and 2, right? Okay, so consider the question, right? Okay, consider the question and the statement and mark the correct options, right? Okay, so over here there are 3 different weights. Okay, all the weights are integers and their sum is a prime number. What are the weights? Okay, what are the weights is what they are asking. Okay, right? So one of the weight is twice the weight of another. Okay, if I am saying the first weight is 1, right? If I take statement 1 as correct, the another statement, the another weight will be 2, right? Okay, this is according to the statement number 1, right? Okay, now one of the weights is thrice the another weight. Okay, one of the weights is thrice the another weight. Okay, so this third weight could be either 3 or 6, right? One of the weights is thrice the another weight. Okay, the third weight, right? Now we have 2 different cases. The weight could be 1, 2, 3 or the weight could be 1, 2, 6. Okay, right? Okay, one of the weights is twice the another weight. This is okay, one of the weights is thrice the another weight. Okay, one of the weights is twice the another weight. One of the weight is thrice the another weight. Okay, what question they are asking over here, right? What are the weights? What are the weights? You know for sure that 2 of them are 1 and 2. 2 of them are 1 and 2. But the last one could be either 3 or 6. Okay, so this question cannot be answered, right? Over here, right? D over here is the correct answer. We cannot answer this question even by using both of these statements together, folks, right? Over here they are saying can be answered, can be answered, can be answered. So we are not able to answer, right? We have 2 different cases, right? Isn't it? So we will go ahead with question number 68, right? D as the answer to this particular question. Now moving on to question number 69, right? A question is followed by 2 statement 1 and 2. Consider the question and the statements and mark the correct option, right? What is the amount at the end of 10 years, right? The principal over here is given as 1 lakh rupees. The rate of interest is 10% per annum. Okay, right? So are we able to, can we answer this? Okay, so 1 lakh rupees, this is your principal, P into 1 plus R raised to the power T, right? Okay, right? Now it could be either your simple interest or compound interest. It does not really matter. Okay, right? The rate of interest is 10% per annum. Okay, so the obvious answer is that we can answer this question, but you cannot answer this question by using one of the statement alone, right? Okay, by either of this statement alone we are able to answer the question, but in order to answer the question we are using both the statements together, right? It is not the case that we cannot be answered. Yes, I know you might want to take this given that whether it is compound interest or simple interest, right? Okay, but in a way you are able to answer the question, right? Isn't it? Okay, right? This is an answerable question, isn't it? Okay, if they have not given anything in clear cut, then yeah, okay, you have to assume simple interest. Okay, so if you, even if you assume simple interest 10% per year into 10 years, which means 100%, right? 100% means this 1 lakh will become 2 lakh, that's it. Okay, right? So we are able to answer the question for sure, folks. Okay, right? Now let's move on to the next question over here, folks, right? The last and the final statement type question. A question is given followed by two statements 1 and 2. Consider the question and the statements and mark the correct options, right? Question is p square plus pq plus q square odd, where pq are integers, right? P plus q is even, right? Okay, p plus q is even, right? So one thing is certain, if p plus q is even, so if I have to pick up statement 1, p is equal to 2, q is equal to 4, we can assume something like that, right? Okay, so if we assume this thing, right, p plus q is even, right, p plus q is even, so what actually happens with p square plus pq plus q square, right? P square is 4, pq is 8 plus 16, right? Okay, this is how much? 28. Okay, now p plus q is even, right? P plus q is even, so can I say p is equal to 3 and q is equal to 5, right? P plus q is even, so in that case your p square plus pq plus q square, it becomes how much? P square is 9, pq is 15, q square is 25, right? 49. Okay, in this case you are getting, for this particular case you are getting even, but for this particular case you are getting an odd, right? Okay, so statement 1, p plus q is even, is p square plus pq plus q square odd, where p and q are integers, right? Okay, right? So you are not able to answer this question by using this particular statement for sure, right? Okay, now pq is odd. Okay, if pq is odd, right, so if pq is odd, then one thing is certain, that both p and q are odd numbers, right? Both p and q are odd numbers, right? Isn't it? If both p and q are odd numbers, it will direct to this particular case, right? Both p and q are odd numbers, right? Both p and q are odd numbers, then what will happen to this? P square plus pq plus q square, right? P square is 25, pq is 35 plus q square is 49. Okay, right? This is how much, right? 60 plus 49, 109, right? 109, isn't it? Okay, so from this particular statement we are able to answer the question, right? But by using the other statement we are not able to answer the question, right? Okay, it is not the case that we cannot answer, right? It is not answerable. The question can be answered by using one of the statements alone, but cannot be answered using the other statement alone, right? Question can be answered by using either the statement alone, I mean both. Okay, both the statement, but cannot be either the statement alone, right? Okay, so obviously for question number 70, the correct answer for this particular question is going to be what? A over here is going to be the correct answer, folks. All right, so let's move on to question number 71. Okay, I don't think we need the option, but answer is 800, 2100, 4200 CBD. Okay, right? So 800, then 2100, 4200 and CBD, right, cannot be determined, right? Okay, so these are the three options, right? The total population of an area is 10,000, right? The total population of an area is 10,000, out of which male and female population are equal in numbers. Okay, so male population are 5,000 and female population are also 5,000, right? Okay, right? Out of the total population, 30% of the population are newspaper readers. Okay, so how many people read newspapers, right? So 3,000 people read the newspaper, right? Out of the total newspaper readers, right, 1/3 read English newspaper, right? Okay, 1/3 read English newspaper means 1,000 of them read English newspaper, right? Out of the total English newspaper, 200 are females, right? Right, 200 are females. That means 800 are males and 200 are females, right? Okay, right? Male English newspaper readers. Okay, female English newspaper readers. So what is the number of males who do not read the English newspaper, right? Okay, 800 are the males, those who read the English newspaper, and the total number of males are how much? 5,000, right? So 5,000 minus 800 is how much? 4,200 over here, right? Okay, question number 71, C is what going to be the correct answer, folks, over here, right? Question number 71, C is what going to be the correct answer for this particular question, folks. How about question number 72? What do you guys think? What is the maximum area of a rectangle in square centimeter whose perimeter is 400 centimeter? Right? What is the maximum area of a rectangle in square centimeter whose perimeter is 400 centimeter? What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this particular stuff? What is the maximum area of the rectangle in square centimeter whose perimeter is 400 centimeter, right? Okay, if the perimeter, right, okay, if the perimeter is 400 centimeter, can we simply say each of the sides are 100? Each of the sides are 100. If each of the sides are 100, what is the maximum area, right? 10,000 square units will be the maximum area. Easy, right? Extremely easy, this one, right? Isn't it? Very, very easy, this one. Tell me. Okay, two of you are here, but I don't see much of an option answer over here in your chat. Okay, anyways, okay, so what is the question number 73? What is the remainder when we divide 3 raised to the power 10 by 7? Okay, right, 3 raised to the power 10 by 7, right? Remainder, that means 3 dash line is what we will write. Okay, 3 square is 9 raised to the power 5, is that what we have, right? Which means 2 raised to the power 5, right? Why am I writing from here to here 2 raised to the power 5? Because if you divide 9 by 7, remainder is how much? 2, right? Okay, right? So 2 raised to the power 5 is how much? 2 raised to the power 5 is how much? Right? Right? 2 raised to the power 5 is 32, right? Isn't it? 2 raised to the power 5 is 32 over here, right? Okay, so 2 raised to the power 5 is your 32 divided by 7, right? 2 raised to the power 5 over here, right? Isn't it? Right? Or otherwise, how you can think about it is that, okay, how you can think about it, okay, then obviously this remainder over here is how much? 4, okay. Or otherwise, what you could have think from here, right? From here you could also think it in like 2 raised to the power 7, you could have thought if like that, divided by 7, okay. Now this value will give you a remainder of 1, isn't it? Okay, so you are having 2 square in the numerator, which means 4 is what you will be remaining over here. by this particular way as well, folks. Right? Easy. Easy. Now question number 74. What is the square root of 64%? Now this is a very interesting question. Look at the question over here. What is the square root of 64%? Okay. Square root of 64%. Okay. What is the meaning of percent? Okay. The meaning of percent is 1 by 100. Always keep that in mind. Okay. Right? The meaning of percent is 1 by 100, which is equal to how much? Root under 64 by 100, right? Which means 8 by 10, which means 0.8, right? Now don't run, right? Don't run to pick up this particular answer. It will be wrong, okay? Right? Okay? It will be wrong over here, right? 0.8 in numeric terms, okay? 0.8 in numeric terms is equal to this particular value, because percentage means 1 by 100 over here, folks, right? So, right? Okay, so the square root of 64% is 80%, right? The square root of 64% is how much? 80% over here, folks, right? Question number 74, we have D as the correct answer to this particular question, folks. How about this one? Question number 75. The difference of 10 raised to the power 31 minus 5 and 10 cube 10 raised to the power 30 plus p is divisible by 3, where p is a digit. How many values of p are possible? How many values of p are possible over here, right? Okay. So the difference of 10 raised to the power 31, right, minus 5, right? Difference means minus 10 raised to the power 30 plus p, right? Now this particular value is divisible by 3, right? Okay, which means we can write 10 raised to the power 31 minus 5 minus 10 raised to the power 30 minus of p, right? Can I simply write it as 10 raised to the power 31 minus 10 raised to the power 30, right, minus of, right, 5 plus p? Is that what we have? Is that what we have? Can I write it? Okay. Can I write it something like that? Can I write it something like that? Okay. So now if you look at this particular value, folks, okay, if you look at this particular value, right, if you look at this particular value over here, right, okay, now if you have something like 10 square minus 10 raised to the power 1, okay, which is your 100 minus 10, right, which is 90, okay. Now if you do 10 cube minus 10 square, right, which is your 1,000 minus 100, right, okay, right, which is a 00, how much, which is 900, right. Similarly 10 raised to the power 4 minus 10 cube, if you do, it will be 9000, right, which means what? It means that this particular number over here is divisible by 3 for sure, isn't it? So what we have to worry about is that we have to worry about this particular number, okay, 5 plus p. This number has to be divisible by 3, isn't it? Okay, so if this number has to be divisible by 3, the value of p could be 1, okay, the value of p could be 4, isn't it? Okay, what other values can we have for this? Okay, right, the value of p can also be minus 2, isn't it? Okay, the value of p can also be minus 2, right, and the value of p can also be minus 5, right, isn't it? So because we are adding over here, we are subtracting the what? We are subtracting the multiples of 3. We are adding or subtracting the multiples of 3, right? Okay, so p is a digit, okay, right, negative or positive they have not mentioned, okay, right. So we have to consider all these 4 options over here, and that is why for question number 75 we go ahead with A as the correct answer, folks, right. For question number 75, A over here is going to be the correct answer, right? We have 4 different cases for this particular question. All right, what do you guys think about this one? Okay, what do you folks think about this particular one? Okay, right? What do you folks think about this particular one? Okay, now they are saying 100 divides, right? Of your statement number 2 says 100 divides 67 raised to the power 5 plus 33 raised to the power 5. Okay, right? So whenever you have this odd number, right? Whenever you have this odd number over here, right? Whenever you have this odd number, both the summation, right? Both the sum of 67, right, 33 and difference of 67 and 33 will be dividing this particular number. Okay, 100 is what? 100 is the sum of 67 and 33. So which means your second option is the correct one. Or if you do not believe me, you know a plus b whole cube is equal to, right, a cube plus b cube plus 3ab into a plus b is what you have. Okay, right? Now over here can be right, a cube plus b cube is equal to a plus b whole cube, right, minus 3ab into a plus b, right? Now from here you can take a plus b common. Okay, a plus b common, a plus b whole square over here, a plus b whole square minus of 3ab, right? Okay, and that is why over here, since you have a plus b, right, since over here, over here these are the odd digits is what we are working over here, right? Since over here you can see a plus b is common, right? 67 plus 33, right? 67 plus 33, 100 over here will divide this particular given expression for sure, right? Okay, so one thing is certain over here, that over here 2 only, 1 only, this is not your answer, this is also not your answer. Okay, right? So if the power is odd, okay, if the power is odd over here, right, both the sum and difference will divide the given number, right? But if the power over here is even, okay, if power over here is given as even, right, only sum will divide the given number. Okay, so what is the sum, right? So this entire number over here, right, one thing is certain, what we have done, this is correct. Okay, this sum over here 107 plus 76, right? Okay, so which is your 318, right? So 183, right, this 183 will divide this particular number. If 183 divides this particular number, 61 is one of the what? Okay, right, factors of 183, and that is why it will be divided by both 1 and 2, folks, right? It will be divided by both 1 and 2. Okay, all right, folks. So with that, we'll move on to your question number 77. The average of the temperatures recorded at noon time from Monday to Sunday is 31 degrees Celsius. Okay, the average of the temperatures recorded at noon time from Monday to Sunday over here, right? Okay, so you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? All 7 days, right? The average recorded is 31 into 7, right, which means 217, right? The lowest temperature recorded is 30 degree, right? Okay, Celsius. Then what is the maximum possible temperature recorded in the noon time on any one of those days? Okay, if we want to give the maximum for the rest of the 6 days, right, rest of the 6 days we'll have to give minimum. We will have to assume that for all the rest of the 6 days it was minimum, and over here the difference is how much? 37 degrees Celsius, folks. Easy, Absolutely easy. Now how about this one, question number 78? Let's move on to question number 78 in that case, folks. Right? Right? So question number 78, what we will do with question number 78 is that we will try to get this question solved a bit. Okay, in the left hand side we have x plus 1 by yz minus of, right, minus of y minus of zx. I'm just getting away with the brackets, right, is equal to y plus 1 by zx minus of z minus of 1 by xy is what we have. Okay, right? Now what we are doing, I'm just putting x over here, right, x over here, y we have 2 times, right, y over here, if I bring it to the left hand side it is minus 2y, right, okay, plus z, right, this z will become plus, right. So what are we left with? X is gone, right, y is also gone, right, isn't it? Y is gone. Now over here we have plus sign, isn't it? Okay, z was also gone, right, okay. So now this particular value plus 1 by yz, okay, this is your plus 1 by yz, okay. Now if this one also comes to your left hand side, it will be 2 by zx, right, 2 by zx, that means this is gone, 2 by zx, this is gone, and if it comes over here on this side, it is plus 1 by xy is equal to 0, right. This is what you have, isn't it? This is what we have, and they have given over here x plus y is not equal to 2y, okay, x plus y is not equal to 2y is what they have given over here, folks, right, okay. What is x, y, z equal to? Okay, if x, y, z, right, if x, y, z were equal to this particular value, right, okay, we could have said x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, and z is equal to 1, isn't it? Okay, but will it flout this rule? Will it flout this rule? Okay, it will flout this rule, this particular rule, folks, right, okay. So what we will assume over here, x is equal to half and y is equal to 2 and z is equal to 1. Can I say something like that? Does it still flout this rule? Okay, x plus z is not equal to y, right, okay. So now this is correct, okay. Now this is a correct, isn't it? Okay, x is equal to half, y is equal to 2 and z is equal to 1 is what you have. Now put it over here, x is equal to half minus 2y, y is equal to 4 plus z, z is equal to 1, right. I'm assuming this particular value, okay, plus 1 divided by yz, okay, yz is how much? 2 minus 2 divided by over here is how much? Zx, right. X value is how much? X value is how much? 1 by 2 and z value is 1, okay, plus 1 divided by xy, okay, x is this, y is this, okay. Is it equal to 0 is what we have to check, okay. Now if you solve for this, this will give you 1 only, right. This value will give you 1 only, right. If you solve for this, this value will give you how much? 4, right. This value will give you 4, right, isn't it? Okay. Now this particular value, half plus half is 1, right. 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3, right. 3 minus 8, it is minus 5. It is not equal to 0, right. If it is not equal to 0, which means we can say that C is not your answer, okay. C is not the answer, folks, okay, right. So one thing is certain, that C is not your answer, okay. Now if I do a little change over here, right, if I say, right, if I say x is equal to half, y is equal to minus 2 and z is equal to 1, can I say something like that? Okay, I have done a slight tweak, okay. Now we are assuming this answer over here is your B option, okay. If I assume something like that, okay, so if you solve for this, x is equal to how much? Half minus 2y, okay, minus 2 2 into y value is this particular value, right? Plus z plus 1 by y and z, okay? Then minus 2 divided by z into x, right? Plus 1 divided by x into y is what you have, right? Now it looks a little bit intimidating, but it is not, okay? So it is how much? Half minus minus plus 4 plus 1 minus half, right? Minus over here 4, right? Okay, minus 1, right? Entire, if you cut and all that, it will be minus 1, okay, right? Minus half plus 4 minus 4 plus 1 minus 1. Is it equal to 0? Is that what we were looking for? Is that exactly what stuff we were looking for, right? Okay, so we say B over here is the correct answer, folks, okay, right? This is the best way for in order to solve these particular questions, right? Okay, you might have a different way to solve these questions as well, but going this way is a much easier rather than going the traditional way, right? Question number 79. N into, consider the following statement, P is equal to N into N plus 1, N plus 2 and N plus 3, right, plus 1, where N is a natural number, right, where N is a natural number. P is always odd, P is always a perfect square, right? Okay, so what they have given, P is equal to N into N plus 1 into N plus 2 into N plus 3 plus 1, okay, right? N is a natural number, right? So if N is a natural number, can I say N is equal to 1? Then what will happen with P? P will become 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3 plus 1, right? Okay, so this is your how much? 2 plus 2 into 3 into 4, right? So 2 into 3 into 4 plus 1, right, is how much? 25, right? Isn't it? Right? 25. Okay. Now, if I am saying N is equal to 2, in that case, so 2 into 2 plus 1 is 3, right? 2 plus 2 is 4, 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 1, right? This is how much? This is how much? 5 plus 4, right? 5 plus 4, 20, 20 plus 3 is 60, right? This is how much? 121 over here, folks, right? Okay. Similarly, just check one more, okay? Check one more. N is equal to 3. If I take N is equal to 3, this is 3 into 4 into 5 into 6 plus 1, right? 6 into 5, okay? 30. 30 into 3 is 90, right? 90 plus 4, 90 into 3 is 360. 361. Is 361 a square number? Is 361 a square number? 1, 8, right? Yeah, it seems like a square number, right? Okay, seems like a square number over here, folks, right? Okay, right? So over here we'll go ahead with 79, C both 1 and 2, okay? If you just want to check, we can check for one more, 4 into 5 into 6 into 7 plus 1, okay? So 6 into 5 is how much? 6 into 5 is 30, 30 into 4 is 120, right? 840, 841. Is 841 a square number, right? Is 841 a square number over here, okay? 22441, okay? Right? 22441, okay? So 29 square, 8, right? Yes, 841. It goes by 29, right? So both 1 and 2 over here is the correct answer, folks, right? If you are having 4 different cases correctly matching the given scenario over here, then obviously it is going to be the correct answer, right? Okay. All right, folks. So we'll move to the last and final question over here for today, right? And tomorrow we'll try to finish it off, right? Okay. What is the difference between the average of the first 50 even natural number? Okay, right? So even natural number. What is the difference between the average of the first 50 even natural number and the average of the first 50 odd natural numbers? Right? So first even number is 2, second even number is 4, third even number is 6. Similarly, 24th even number will be 48, right? 25th will be how much? Right? 50, and 26th will be how much? 52. Now the average means we have to worry about these two numbers. The average means we have to worry about these two numbers, right? The average over here is how much? 50, right? 50 is the average, right? Sorry, 51 is the average, right? Okay, 51 is the average, isn't it? So for even first 50 even natural numbers, right? Even natural numbers, average is equal to 51, right? Now odd numbers. Now for the odd numbers, first odd number is 1, second odd number is 3, right? Third odd number is 5, fourth odd number is 7. Okay, right? Isn't it? Okay, so which means 24th odd number means T24, right? Which means A plus N minus 1, right? Right? T plus N minus 1 into D, right? 46, 47. 25th will be 49. 26th will be 51. Okay. So these two are those odd numbers at the 25th and the 26th place. Now we have to take the average of this. The average of this is how much? 50, right? And what they are asking, what is the difference between the average of the first 50? Average of the first 50 even natural number is 51, okay, and the average of the first 50 odd number is 50. Now they are asking what is the difference between these two, 51 and this. What is the difference between these two? So question number 80, we go ahead with C over here is going to be the correct answer for this particular question, folks. Right? Okay. So I hope you guys understood, right? And we shall meet once again, and we shall finish off the rest of the question, right? From question number 81 till 100 is what we are going to do, right? So thank you so much, folks, for joining for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye. Jai Hind, and take care, folks. Bye bye. Good night.